Welcome to an extra episode of Friends and Film. Unlike our normal episodes, if you're used to listening to us, this is going to be a review-only extra episode for you guys. As always, I am Cooper Hood, and as always, I'm also joined by my co-host Josh Straley.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first extra Friends and Film podcast.
Yeah, we haven't done one of these before, and this is only going to be on YouTube. So
YouTube exclusive.
yes, exclusive for YouTube listeners and watchers. Still no video. I don't know when we'll ever get to that point, if we ever will. So this is a review-only episode, and we're going to be reviewing Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising, directed by Nicholas Stoller. The Radners, played by Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne, are once again faced with a party house next door, but this time it is a sorority led by Chloe Grace Moretz's character Shelby. Zac Efron also returned as Teddy Sanders. Josh, we're going to review this, so what'd you think?
I was a fan of the first Neighbors, okay? And it was really good and really funny. I found this one a lot more fun for myself. Like, I thought it was smarter in a ton of aspects, a better overall story. It wasn't just like, it was cohesive. It wasn't just like a conglomerate of just random hijinks and pranks. And seeing Zac Efron as his character of Teddy again was just, it was hilarious. That not dumb, but overly hyped college grad who hasn't moved on yet. I thought that was awesome. What about you? I mean, did this do it for you as a sequel?
You have a rating?
I do have a rating. This is a 3.5.
Okay.
And that's coming from giving the Neighbors a 3.
You gave the first Neighbors a 3?
Yes.
Okay. So just to put in perspective, I very much enjoyed the first Neighbors. I would give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
I just think it's really funny. In parts, sure, it has a simple story, but I think Rogen and Byrne are a great duo, and that carries over to this one. And then in the first one, Zac Efron and Dave Franco are great, like best buds. And then their chemistry playing off of Byrne and Rogen, they're back and forth between each other throughout the whole movie. The first one is what makes that movie so enjoyable to me. And sure, it just has a lot of pranks, but those pranks are really funny. In my opinion, this one is a step down for me. It has its its moments where it's funny, but I don't think. Whereas I would praise Efron and Franco's roles as the antagonists in the first one. This time around, it's Moretz, Kiersey Clemens, and Beanie Feldstein, otherwise known as Jonah Hill's younger sister. Them three are the main antagonists for the Radners, and for me, they're not that funny. Personally, I think a lot of the comedic moments come from either Rogen and Byrne playing off each other and trying to figure out how to get things done, or it comes from when any part that Efron's in.
Yeah,
so
totally.
That's where I think that, because without getting into like major spoilers for how the movie like plays out, I guess Efron is kind of I don't know how to say this, but I just think the last act is, there's not a lot of comedic moments based around the trio of the ladies. And it's a lot more about, Rogen and Byrne. And sure, they're the leads, but I needed, coming off of Neighbors, where Franco and Efron were so good together, I needed more from them in order to live up to the previous one.
Okay, yeah.
And this movie tries to be like really politically correct, and like their whole reason that the girls start their own sorority and move in next door is because sororities apparently are not, and this is real, sororities are not allowed to throw parties on college campuses, but frats are. So they're like, okay, well, that's sexist, so we're going to move off campus to our own sorority, and then we can't actually party. and like that had its like that's a good like I mean, it's not a good message to party, but it's
Sure.
like the message to like stick up for what you believe in and follow through with stuff you're passionate about, and like the sisterhood that comes with a sorority and stuff is there, but like it kind of takes a backseat throughout, even though it's also kind of like the main story. So like that
Yeah.
part wasn't like as good as it could have been. If it was, I think I would have given it like a 3.5 or something. But this is like a borderline, like this is like a 2.5, 3, and I'm giving it a 3
Oh wow.
just
Okay.
because of how much I enjoyed Rogan, Byrne, and Efron.
I'm gonna disagree with you just a little bit on maybe the premise of the movie.
Okay.
I think it was well done. It was like, you know, they were taking a shot at the, you know, the patriarchy or the hierarchy. So they cast off Greek culture and the rules and all that, and they start their own, which is cool. I mean, that way they can party the way they want as a sorority, and then that's what, you know, sets off the whole events with, you know, Rogan's family, Mac and Kelly. So I thought that was all great, and then they don't know how to run one, so then that's how they weave in Teddy, who can't give up the past.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really clever how they did all that, and that's how he's using it as a way to get revenge on them for his felony, which means
Yeah.
he can't get hired anywhere, which was cool. And I thought it was great that the reason he was out of a job is because Abercrombie stopped the shirtless model thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good, but I thought it did well with, like, you know, the using feminism to drive the whole plot forward. The only place where I thought it did fall flat was that I think it had a chance to maybe punch, you know, some of college partying and that culture a little bit more, but it didn't, even though it tried to, and it kind of fell flat for me there.
Yeah.
But I think that was an overall premise. I thought it did well.
It's just like, I don't know. I just think like they were like the whole time that sorority struggling to be a sorority and like have the funds to afford a house.
Yeah.
And then B, they don't know how to run a sorority, and like they're falling apart at the end and stuff. And then they the ending's only satisfying because it's like the whole time Rogan and Byrne they're pregnant with their second child.
Yeah.
Which is why they're moving, because like we need a big house, blah blah blah. And so then Rose Byrne is the one to like, you know, coach up the girls at the very end, be like, why are you guys throwing away everything you believe in just to keep your house?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's your guys' friendships and relationships that makes a sorority, not the house you live in.
Right.
So do what you guys want to do. Don't let other people do this. And that's satisfactory for them because it's like, okay, like they are going to be good parents. They can handle 2 children and stuff. But it's like I don't know, like I just didn't feel like the 3 girls, even though I like Kiersey Clements a lot from her previous role in Dope. So I was hoping for a lot more out of her, but it's just like, they're like forgettable kind of like, there's not that great like duel between the sorority and then the Radners, whereas in the first one there's like so much back and forth between them trying to stop the other, and they actually like have smart plans. And then like in this one, like they kind of overcomplicate things a little bit at the end, where it's like, why didn't they automatically call the cops for that final party? Like if they know they're on eviction notice and everything, call the cops. Like they haven't threatened to do anything if you call the cops on them. Like you didn't make that agreement like the first one. Like, okay, don't call the cops on. It's just like, you know, ask us to turn down and we'll try to be respectful. Whereas this one, they have no like friendly relationship with the house next door ever. Mm-hmm. So like why they wouldn't just call the cops the first time, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from there. I mean, the police are never involved at all. I mean,
even though like in the trailer, there's a shot where the police officer from the first one, and then the one of the old fraternity guys are in like a tank together, and like that's nowhere in the movie. I was waiting for that to happen at the final party, and then it didn't. I was like, oh, that's disappointing.
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess you can maybe say that Rogan and Burns they get proactive. They head over to the party. I mean, when they first realize it's a sorority, and be like, hey, we're on escrow 30 days. That's just all we need from you guys. So you just keep it real or keep it chill, and then everything will be fine. So I mean, like, I think that kind of sets up the premise. I mean, was that what you were kind of talking about, or
kind of? But then like I can't even like really remember like why all of a sudden like the girls turn on them. It's just because like they go to the sorority, they freak out. They're like, we can't have another sorority next door because, you know, if we do, then they're gonna mess up our escrow and everything.
Right.
And then
we won't be able to sell the
they
house.
call Shelby's dad, and then that's what sets off like the war. I was like, what?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like, well, they were trying to, like, you know, get him to stop the house party.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, that's what like sends everything into overdrive. So
Yeah, but like then like there's only like really like the ones like I don't know, like even like they break into the Radner's house, steal all of their stuff because the Radners stole and burnt all the weed that they had that was going to be used from all the profits from selling the weed was going to be used to afford the rent for the next month in their house.
Yeah.
But they watched them rob them, didn't call the cops because they're like, we stole their weed, but you burnt it all. There's no evidence that you have weed.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe.
But the house next door stole all your stuff. You let them do it. Like, these are just like, if like the guys would have done that and there was like the threats, like, don't like call the cops. Like, there was never like a moment where like the rivalry started besides after the dad was, you know, put into this movie for 2 minutes. And then they're looking through the window at each other and you're like, oh, it's on. Like, what? No, it's not. Like, oh, yeah, it's on. Like, wait, why? Like, it's on. Like, but why?
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, when they go over there the first time, they are like, dude, we're not going to do anything. Like, we're here to party. That's why we moved in. So we're not going to stop partying. So they're like, okay, what are we going to do then? Then they call the dad. And then the dad sets them off. And then that's when they start, you know, camping out in his lawn or...
but that's like all they do.
What's
they just do
other pranks too.
They just do the one thing where they lay in their bikinis in the front yard, and then they steal their stuff after they steal the weed. I'm pretty sure that's all that happens between the two sides.
And then there's that. Yeah, okay. Well, the parties keep on going again as well. So
Yeah.
I think that's in the montage, as well as Seth Rogen getting in the car and then slamming on the brakes and letting Jonah Hill's sister, whose name, please say it.
It is Beanie Feldstein.
There you go. Thank you. Beanie Feldstein flies through the window, and then he's just like, "Oh no, I killed her! Yeah. And then she gets up and then runs off. So that's all in that montage, but yeah, it doesn't like really come to a head until the tailgate. I mean, that's when like I think that's probably the most epic scene in the entire movie, which I would argue is probably the best series of events that happens in both those movies. Agree or disagree?
I would say the chase is the most enjoyable part,
yes,
for sure. Of this movie, probably in this series, maybe
at least top 2, top 3.
Sure.
Okay.
But like, I just thought of the other thing that they do. They steal the phones after they kick Teddy out. They swap the phone numbers.
Right.
But it's like, you can tell they're both suspicious about like, okay, my husband's not acting like himself, my wife's not acting like herself, and then like,
yeah,
it leads to a hilarious moment between Rose Byrne and what's his name, Seth Rogen's best friend.
It's played by Ike Barinholtz.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Yeah, yeah. Like a hilarious moment between like that whole office where
Oh, that's classic.
Tell her where she is. And then even the boss gets involved, and then they realize it's a prank, and then like the fact that the whole office was like airbags.
Yeah.
No. Like you can tell there's like repercussion from the first movie. Like that was probably one of the funniest parts. Was everybody screaming airbags, and they're like all scared about that. Whereas like that's where I think like the movie has its best moments is when it's playing off stuff happened in the first movie.
Okay.
Whereas the new story that's trying to tell, I don't think is great because just like I don't think the three girls are that interesting. I don't think their chemistry is that great. And then like even like the side sorority sisters that like kind of like the one that like is eating and has like chips in her hair and stuff, and it's like those ones weren't as funny as like some like the other like Garth and Scooney from the first one. Like those guys were both like had their funny moments in Neighbors. So I just think like because we have kind of that foundation with the Radners and Teddy, that I think I kind of resonate more with their characters and stuff. So I was more interested to see how Teddy was going to adapt to, Dave Franco kicking him out of the apartment because he got engaged, and kind of trying to find his value in life. And that was a really funny like gag thread. I was like, would you find value in that? Sure.
Yeah.
You would value me if I did this for you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Because Rogan's like, what about this do you not get? I just asked you to help us out.
Yeah.
And then when they have when they finally have that hug after they
capture the bro hug. Yeah.
That's classic. I love that. Yeah. It was a really good moment.
Yeah. So that's why I just think this movie is a step down, just because I think the best moments are between, the pre-existing cast that kind of came back for this, and then the new threat wasn't as good as the fraternity, and the girls weren't as funny as Franco and Efron.
Do you think you were just disappointed that you didn't get enough Franco and Efron? Was that kind of the...
I think I got enough Efron because he's sprinkled throughout the whole movie. Franco is definitely not there for a lot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Them together. I think that's what I was getting at.
I would have liked to see more of that. And like, I found out like a couple weeks ago that like Franco's character was going to be gay in the movie. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's okay. Like I would have liked to learn that in the movie. But,
sure.
Like EW or somebody like just posts stories like why Dave Franco's character is gay in Neighbors 2. I was like, what? It's like, I was like, I didn't know that.
That's a good. Well, yeah, like it kind of ruins the plot a bit too.
Yeah.
Because then it throws you off when they stop in the middle of the poker game.
That was super funny though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I just think it was a little step down, and I was really looking forward to this movie just because I thought it was kind of, and I thought Selena Gomez was gonna have a lot bigger of a role.
Yeah,
because she's in it at the very first scene with Chloe Grace Moretz and the very last scene. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of Selena Gomez, but like she was kind of like the big face in like the first trailer. Was like they show like the whole sorority recruitment video, and then like she's not in it. So I was like, oh, okay. Any other final thoughts?
Man, okay. I'm gonna reiterate how much I love the tailgate scene, because the chase, the clown that kept popping,
yes.
Jimmy the clown, and the laugh every time that happened. I wanted to do what everybody in the movie does and punch him.
Yeah.
But then when it happened, just like you can't help but laugh.
Yeah, that was really funny.
And Billy Eichner, he's got a cameo as one of the real estate agents. I love seeing him pop up.
Yeah, because he's trying to be all like cool and everything. Like he's like, I don't know how to react to you guys. I've got another sorority over here on the line trying to buy a house.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we'll just take it. We'll take it. He's like, all right, good. And then, oh man, it's definitely worth seeing. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would say if you're a fan of the first one, go see it. If you don't like the first one, you probably it's a lot of the same type of stuff. Like they even have the same like house kind of party where it's like dress up like this person. Like they dress up like famous female characters, where in the first one they all dressed up like De Niro characters. So I think, yeah, if you like the first one, go see it. If not, it's probably not for you. I gave it a 3 out of 5. You gave it
3.5.
Yeah. So that's our rating. Hope you guys like this special extra episode. Review only, Friends in Film. We may do more of these or split up the episodes into just news and review videos separately on YouTube. If you guys like being able to click and instantly get to the review. So if you like this setup a little bit better, let us know in the comments or tweet us at Friends and Film. You can find me on Twitter at Coops_Hoops.
And you can find me, Josh, at Straley Strong.
And as always, be sure to check out, we should have our review up for The Nice Guys up as well. You should check that out. And we'll have an X-Men Apocalypse preview coming up in the next day or two in anticipation for Apocalypse coming out this weekend. So we're doing a lot of stuff. It's summertime. We're trying to step up our game. So go watch some new movies or these movies before we return next week with a review of X-Men Apocalypse.